The First Amendment of the United States of America is an amendment that has 6 parts to it that helps in the keeping of laws and regulations in the United States. The first part is that it prohibits the making of any law respecting an establishment of religion, which is known as the Establishment Clause. It also states Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. The second part is the impending the free exercise of religion, which is known as the Free Exercise Clause. It also states Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. The third part, abridging of freedom of speech, is a part that we know very well, and I'm sure many of us have used before, and is one that is brought into the media and into light when things are talked about, when people are do not agree with a subject or want to be heard. The fourth is infringing on freedom of speech, which is the freedom of press in the United States. You can go to any local grocery store, anywhere at the mall, and find tabloids with stories that most likely are not true or have been embellished a lot. You can even go on the front page of Yahoo and see stories every day that have to deal with different parts in the United States. The fifth part is interfering with the right to peaceably assemble, which is the freedom of assembly and the freedom of association. Basically, any religion, no matter what you are, can peaceably assemble together. You do not have to hide to have church or to have a Bible study. You can have Bible studies in houses or other places. You do not have to go to a specific place in order to study. You can as long as it is peaceable, you can assemble for different purposes in the United States. And the sixth part is prohibiting the petitioning for a governmental redress of grievances. Basically, you have the right to make a complaint to or to seek the assistance of one's government without fear of punishment or reprisals. Basically, if there's a part of the government that you do not like, you can address this. You can go and talk to them and let them know what you feel. You will not be punished for this as long as it's done in a peaceable way. Many of these have been brought into the media recently with the shootings that happened down in South Carolina last Sunday. Brought into freedom of speech, freedom of religion, just very many different things. Not even just that, but in everyday media, you hear these being mentioned. A court case that I found interesting was Hazelwood School District versus Colmere in 1988, which said that the school had the right to censor stories from school-sponsored student newspapers. And this corresponds with the fourth part of this amendment, which was the freedom of the press in the United States. That if it has to do with in the school with a student-sponsored newspaper, they do have the right to censor this. There are so many other court cases that could go on and on dealing with each part of this, and it is important to remember that this is a part that if somebody is telling you something, they have the freedom of speech to voice their opinion, and you have the freedom of speech to voice your opinion as well. That the government cannot take this away from you. This is your right as a citizen of the United States. This amendment is one that I feel should be looked into more often, and is one that people take out of context a lot. But it is also the one that we as Christians can thank for being able to worship every Sunday and any other time throughout the week, that we can do activities with our churches and with our youth groups, and that we won't be arrested or fined for doing these things in a peaceable manner.